Ciao a tutti ragazzi e bentornati su Hard Rock Crypto da Rick. Siamo qui a Malta ed abbiamo intervistato per voi l'Head of Crypto di Chiliz, Joe Grech. Bene Joe, innanzitutto benvenuto sul nostro canale, presentati ai nostri amici.
Hi guys, I'm Joe Grech, the Head of Crypto at Chiliz, and I'm here with Hard Rock Crypto.
Ottimo Joe, grazie. Bene, partiamo con la prima domanda. Quanti dipendenti avete?
So, when I joined the company back in 2018, we were around 17 people. I think I was the 17th. And now, here in 2022, we are, I think, around 300 people or over 300, or soon we will be over 300.
E ora invece volevo chiederti, qual è la differenza tra un lavoro tradizionale, chiamiamolo così, ed uno cripto?
Good question. I mean, with crypto, it's a high energy and I'd say hyperactive industry. A lot of the work and communications we do happens on instant messaging applications like Slack, Telegram, WeChat, for example, in China. You're always in touch with partners. You're always in touch with your colleagues. And sometimes that can easily flow outside of your normal working hours. And I would also say that, there is the meme in crypto where, you age, 1 year in the real world is like 10 years in crypto time. So I would say that you learn a lot quicker, you grow a lot faster, and you experience a lot of new things very quickly. And if you're not somebody who's able to handle lots of inputs of data, you might find it hard to ignore the noise because there's always a lot happening in the crypto industry, and it's like, for me personally, it's very important to have my finger on the pulse at all times because I like to keep track of what's happening, whether it's in the news or finance, what's going on in the world. So in crypto, there's something happening every day, whether it's an argument on Twitter which causes drama, which actually is relevant to the industry somewhat, whether it's about a big exchange or a token being exploited in DeFi or something along those lines, So I'd describe it as a hyperactive industry because it's so stimulative, because of you're always being pinged here and there. I'd say it could be quite addictive, to be honest. And I honestly think now that if I went back and tried to do a normal job at like a normal tech company or a normal finance company, I would probably get bored very quickly, and I will feel like the company moves too slowly because I've been used to this hyper growth that we see in crypto, especially over the past 5 years. Yeah.
Puoi spiegarci perché hai lasciato il tuo vecchio lavoro?
Before working at Chiliz, I was working at a company in Finland called Oddshot.tv. If you're a fan of Twitch.tv, you might have heard of Oddshot. We were a live stream highlights platform that allowed people to take 15 to 30 second small video highlights from live streams after the moment had happened. So it was just a Chrome extension that you would download onto your browser and press a button to get a video clip, which would upload it to our service. We had rapid growth, but unfortunately the video hosting business costs a lot of money to host videos because of when you're working with distribution networks of video and you're trying to make the delivery latency as low as possible, you incur a lot of costs, whether that's Akamai or AWS products that rack up costs each month, which essentially led to the company running out of funds. It was a startup that was relatively small, so we were running with $2 million of investment, and just unfortunately the Twitch platform integrated the clips natively, which completely cut out the need for us as this middleman. And yeah, the company decided to fold and moved on to bigger and better things.
Ora sono curioso di sapere quante sedi avete in giro per il mondo.
We started with just one office here in Malta because Malta is the headquarters of Chiliz and Socios. But now I would say that we've moved away from, we haven't moved away from a headquarters idea. Like, some crypto companies, we still do have a headquarters, but we are now a much more distributed company. We have offices in Madrid, office in Milan, Lyon, London, Miami, which I think hasn't opened yet, but is opening soon. Our brand new office in Miami for all of my colleagues that are working on the Socios USA application. So that's going to be a big step for them moving into their own office. And we have a relatively smaller office scattered around. So we have one in Switzerland, which some of the team here in Malta will move to. It will be a much more crypto and finance office rather than a sports tech office. And also we have a small office in Sao Paulo. And I'm probably forgetting a few places where we have, scattered a couple of employees where they have some kind of shared working space, but we are much of a distributed company these days.
Puoi anticiparci quando uscirà Chiliz 2.0?
As everyone knows, we've been, I would say, quietly working. We don't really work quietly. We've been working recently on our layer 1 blockchain, which is Chiliz Chain 2. That is scheduled for release still this year, towards the end of the year, quarter 4. It is quarter 4 already. And actually yesterday, if you're following, I don't know what day yesterday is for you, but for me it is the 26th of September. We announced the first partner that will be building on Chiliz Chain 2, which is Livelike. Livelike specialize in building engagement-related tools for fan bases around the world. And they will utilize Chiliz Chain 2 to basically build applications that better serve fan token holders and fan token users. So they will essentially help us in unlocking the full utility of fan tokens to some extent. And also other companies will on Chiliz Chain 2, and that's very much the point, that we don't have to be the sole driver in the addition of utility, because we have tech partners that work with us to work towards the same goals.
Che piani avete riguardo agli NFT?
NFTs have been a very hot topic over the past couple of years. Now, I remember still today when I got my first NFT, it was, I believe, 2018 when crypto kitties were around. I don't know if any of you guys here in the hard rock crypto community remember crypto kitties, but I did lose the private key to that wallet, so I no longer even have access to those crypto kitties. It was my first foray into NFTs. It was like the first kind of popular NFT series released as well. So I guess fail fast is what people say. It's better to lose them then and lose them now. But yeah, NFTs are super interesting and exciting. To some extent, I think that a lot of them are driven by a lot of hype, which doesn't correlate with the utility offering. So what the actual offering of the NFT is doesn't correlate with how many followers or community members they have, and it causes these very short lifetime projects that we see in a lot of NFT communities, whether it's an NFT community that's been made to build a play and earn game, for example. I was reading recently one had raised something like $5 or $6 million and paying extremely high salaries to the team members, and they didn't even manage to get close to launching a game, because obviously launching a game costs tens of millions, and it's not something that you're going to expect from your typical founder unless they've got AAA game title experience. So for us, NFTs are interesting, yes. And if you're following the process of our testnet, so Scoville, you'll see that we have been working on something behind the scenes. It still hasn't been released yet. It's quite exciting because we haven't shown people the kind of full creativity that we've gone with. And we haven't really told people much about what these NFTs are going to be for. So we have an idea to create an official NFT collection. This is actually kind of a spoiler for you guys here in Italy, because I haven't spoke about this much on the global stage. So we have plans to launch our own NFT collection, which will act as if some kind of token membership for Chiliz Chain 2 related projects. So let's say we onboarded a project to build on the Chiliz Chain. It could be likely that you'll see that Chiliz Chain 2 official NFT holders will have access to, for example, sales of tokens before other participants in the network, and those kinds of utilities that you've shown your dedication and time for following Chiliz for this long. You've acquired this NFT and you're actually going to be able to use it to take kind of full use of the Chiliz Chain 2 ecosystem.
C'è molta attesa da parte dei possessori del token della Nazionale Italiana di calcio sulla loro uscita. Ci puoi dire qualcosa a riguardo?
Now, this is probably what a lot of you are wanting to hear about. Earlier last year, I believe it was March the 8th, we launched on Socios the Italian national team fan token. Obviously, a lot of you are probably holders of this token if you're watching this stream, hopefully. I mean, if you're not, then socios.com or chiliz.net. People are asking us basically, when is the token going to be listed? We had a little break in listings because we were doing, I guess, what you could call an internal resource shakeup, where we allocated resources. We basically had a look at where resources are allocated to in a Chiliz point of view, a Chiliz perspective, and now we've allocated more resources. So we have made lots of hires recently for the Chiliz Exchange, for example, and we've hired a product team. We've got developers now working full-time, a large team of developers working full-time on the exchange, which we didn't necessarily have allocation for before because of other things behind the scene that I won't get into here today, but maybe another time. That led to us having a little pause in listings. A lot of people are saying it's because of market conditions are bad, you don't want to list your tokens. When a lot happens in a company of our size, and we have to make the most of the resources that we have usually. And that means that there can be unforeseen delays, and I understand that waiting 6, 7 months, 8 months for a fan token listing is less than nominal. It's not the kind of service that I want to give to users as the head of the exchange. But I can tell you that in the coming month we will be listing the Italian national team fan token on the Chiliz Exchange. So I really appreciate your guys' patience and waiting for us there.
Vorrei concludere chiedendoti se darete altre utilità al token Chiliz.
Let's talk about the Chiliz token now. Obviously, you're hopefully Chiliz holders, if you're not fan token holders. We have the ability now to basically unload as much additional utility to the Chiliz token as possible. What does that mean? So currently, the way the Chiliz token works is it is very much so the rocket fuel, the enabler for Socios, which is our fan and rewards app, where the fan tokens are sold for the first time and where you can vote in club decisions for your favorite team and redeem, exclusive loyalty and rewards. But most of you probably already know that. Now, Socios was always the one leading the charge in the crypto industry in terms of sports partnerships. And Chiliz has always been the technological enabler of that. So Chiliz is more of a fintech and blockchain provider in terms of technology for the sports and entertainment industry, which means that, now that we are launching the Chiliz Chain 2 blockchain, it's no longer just about Socios, it's about anyone who has an idea that they want to bring to the table, whether it's an NFT collection, whether it's a play and earn game, or maybe some finance related apps. Probably not going to be as many as you'll find on Binance Chain or Polygon, for example, because that's not our core focus. We are very much so focused on interesting applications that can improve fandom, improve the way that fans can connect with their team, whether that utilizes fan tokens or whether that utilizes their own tokens built on our own chain. So the really cool thing about Chiliz Chain 2 is that Chiliz will become the native currency within the blockchain, which means that how when you're using Ethereum, it requires Ether to send a transaction. It will be the same with Chiliz Chain 2, but you will require Chiliz to send a transaction. Now what this does is it can create a network effect because of the more demand for applications that are built on Chiliz Chain, the more demand because of people need to pay for their transaction fees. And basically, there's almost like a circular system in which we have validators, we have delegates. A validator is somebody who operates a node. At first, they're likely to be chosen as close partners who share a similar vision to us, who we can almost give a percent of trust away of the network to help fulfill our vision of becoming the number one sports and entertainment blockchain of choice. So the question is very easy to answer because of there is going to be so many more possibilities that I can't even think of right now, that you're probably struggling to think of at home, that we haven't been able to do with the Chiliz token today, but we will be able to do it with the Chiliz token tomorrow. Not literally speaking, but figuratively speaking.
Mi raccomando ragazzi, se vi è piaciuto questo video prendete, ammazzate il bottone del like, iscrivetevi al canale se non fate ancora parte della crew e accendete la campanellina per rimanere aggiornati. Alla prossima da Rick, ci si rivede sempre qui su Hard Rock Crypto, ciao!
Go!